Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings everyone. So for today's lecture, we're going to talk about lecture notes 5, summarizing information. I mean how to summarize information. Alright, so you can find these notes on Edmodo. I have already uploaded this on Edmodo. So you will be looking at lecture notes 5 part 1. Alright, okay, so this is page 1. Now, summarizing information meaning you are going to identify the main points and you are going to summarize it into a simpler and shorter version of the text, right? Okay, so being able to identify the main ideas in a text is an important skill in reading. This will help readers in summarizing important information in the text. So like I said, summarizing information means you need to find the most important points of the text and you need to summarize it into a simpler and shorter form of the text. So in summarizing a text, only the main ideas and important key details are included. So that's why they are simpler and shorter, because we only include the main ideas and the important key details. Alright. Therefore, a summary is generally shorter than the original article, lebih pendek daripada artikel asal, right? Okay, for example, you can look at example given here on page 1 of your lecture notes 5. So the example given here is the original text. Yeah, so if you read the original text, you'll see that it's longer than the summary given in page 2. Okay, so this is the original text. Okay, so the original text here is talking about depression, issues of depression. Okay, so while reading, you try to identify the main ideas. For example, you know already this is about depression, right? And then it has been reported that more than 300 million people is affected by this condition. Okay, some of them try to hide the signs and some of them did not even realize that they are depressed. Okay, so what you need to identify here is the main ideas, right? So you know this article is about depression. Next, the next main point is that few symptoms of depression. Okay, so you need to know the symptoms of depression. You know, this article is talking about the symptoms of depression. So, okay, you can find in the first article, so in the first page of this lecture notes in the article, it says the first symptom. So this is the first main point that you need to identify. The first symptom of depression is changes in appetite and weight. Okay, the rest is just the explanation. Okay, next, you find the word next. So this is a transition signal. When you find any word that resembles transition signal, which is the key words that helps you identify the movement of idea from point A to point B. So you know this is the second next important point that you need to put in your summary. For example, next is changes in sleeping habits. So you have number 1, changes in appetite and weight. Second one, changes in sleeping habit. And then, alright, this is another. Okay, this is another important key point. Okay, besides that, if you can find that in the article, it says besides that. Okay, besides that is the transition signal for you to add additional information. Okay, they are the same like the first, next, and besides that. Then alcohol and drugs abuse is also another symptom of depression. So you have 3 main ideas here. Number 1 is changes in appetite and weight. Number 2, changes in sleeping habit. Okay, the transition signal is next. And number 3, besides that, alcohol and drugs abuse is also another symptom of depression, right? So if you look at second page, the summary, see, like we have identified just now, we know that the article is talking about depression, and there are 3 symptoms of depression, or the main points that you need to identify from the text. So in the summary, you can see there are 3 symptoms of depression. The first symptom is that people who are depressed have changes in their appetite and weight. Second symptom, the sleeping habits of depressed people will be different. And the last symptom is that depressed people would use alcohol and drugs. Okay, notice that in the summary, like I mentioned just now, we only take the main ideas and the key points. We do not take the explanation or the elaboration part. We only want the main point and the key points. That's why in the summary, it is generally shorter because we do not include the explanation or elaboration from the original part. We only take the main points. Okay? Alright. So, okay, this is a type of question in page 2 of your lecture notes 5. You'll see a list of questions. Okay, it is asking you to compare how many words are there in the original text and how many words are there in the summary. So the first two questions here wants you to identify the differences between a summary and the original text. You can see that in the summary, there are literally simpler and lesser number of words than the original text. So you know in a summary, we write it in a generally shorter and simpler version than the original text, right? Okay, what is written in the first sentence of the summary? Like I said, we only want the original, we only want the important points and we only want the key ideas of the text. So, the first sentence of the summary, there are 3 symptoms of depression because the original text is talking about symptoms of depression. Okay, what are the transition signals used in the summary? Okay, like I said, if you look back at page 1 at the example given, like I said, there are a number of transition signals that can be found here. So this is very important for you to know. The transition signals, the functions are to help you to move from point A to point B. So it helps to tell the reader like you the movement of idea. For example, if you say first, okay, if you say first, that means you are talking about the first idea, and then you say second, and then you say third or fourth. So the movement of idea there is very clear. But sometimes people do not use that first, second, third. Okay, they will say, okay, in the example given here, the first symptom. So you know this is the first main idea that you need to identify. And then it doesn't use second, but it uses next. Okay, so next here is in line. Okay, in line 8 of the example given, you can find the second transition signal, which is next. So if you use next in your article, that means you are using a transition signal to indicate to the readers you are moving to the second idea. And then in line 11 of the same article, you see besides that. So that is another transition signal that could help you to move from one idea to another, right? Okay. So that is what you need to identify. Okay, so a summary contains only the main points. Okay, we do not put any elaborations or explanation. And there's another important point for you to understand is that the transition signals. So find out what are transition signals. Okay, what are other examples of transition signals and what are their functions. Alright, okay. So now from the text above, notice how the main ideas have been summarized in not more than 60 words. Yeah, like I said, a summary is very short and very simple as compared to the original text because we only include the main ideas. Alright, and the summary also consists of transition signals to ensure the smooth flows ideas. Okay, so in the summary, you can see the first symptom, the one in bold letter, the first symptom. So this is the first transition signal. And then in the second symptom, so second is bold, is in bold letter. So this is another transition signal. And the last is also bold. This is also a form of transition signal. So when you put these transition signals, they show to your readers that you are moving from one idea to another. So the function of transition signals are very important. Okay. Alright, next. Paraphrasing. In addition to containing only the main ideas of a text, a good summary is also written using the reader's own words. Okay, so what you need to know is that when you are summarizing, you must use your own word. You cannot copy and paste the article's original text and then put it into your own writing. That is plagiarism. Itu adalah satu unsur plagiat di mana kamu akan didakwa melakukan penipuan akademik dan kamu akan digantung pelajaran if you copy and paste other people's word into your own writing. So this is why we need to summarize and paraphrasing. Like I said, in paraphrasing, okay, you can find this note in page 2. Lecture notes 5, part 1. Okay, so paraphrasing means you need to write or you need to change the sentence order of the original text into your own word. Okay, so this is also known as paraphrasing. It is one of the important skills in reading because it shows that the reader understands the text well and can convey the content. Okay, what it means here is that when you read a text, okay, when you read the text, you will try to understand what is the main idea of this whole text. So when you write that back in your own word, you have already paraphrased. So when you write in your own word, make sure the meaning stays the same. But the wording, the sentence structure, or the construction of the grammar and whatever has to be changed according to your own words. Okay? Alright. If you look at page 3, the example given in the original text, paraphrasing skill is important in reading. So this is the original text, meaning this comes from other people. Okay, you want to paraphrase that, but you want to retain the same meaning. So you just change the word structure and you just change the word order. So maybe you say in the paraphrase, ability to paraphrase is vital in reading. So paraphrasing skill is important in reading. So that is the original one. In the paraphrase text, then you change that into your own word. Okay, then it becomes ability to paraphrase. So the idea of paraphrase is still there. Is vital in reading. So vital is another word for important. So this is how you paraphrase. You change that into your own word. Okay. Alright. So this is page 3 of lecture notes 5 part 1. Okay, notice how in the paraphrase sentence, the word important is changed to vital and the word paraphrasing is changed to paraphrase. So these are the two strategies that can be used to paraphrase effectively. That means you change some of the words in the text, in the original text, into your own word. For example, you change paraphrasing to become paraphrase and you change important to become vital, in which two of these words that you have changed carry the same meaning. So you can replace the words with their synonym or you can change the word form. Okay, when you change the word with synonym, synonyms mean words with the same meaning. So for example, important. So you know important in Malay is penting. Important is very crucial. So you can change the word important to vital. If you see in the dictionary, you'll know that vital has the same meaning as important. So this is one skill for you to paraphrase when you change the original text into your own word by using synonyms. Alright. Or you can also change the word form. Notice in the original text you see paraphrasing, but in the paraphrase text you change paraphrasing to become paraphrase. So there are a change of word form there, right? Okay, still in page 3, if you look at paraphrasing strategy number 1, you can simply replace the words with their synonym. So the first strategy in paraphrasing is by replacing certain keywords with their synonyms. This means that the word is replaced with another word that has similar meaning. One challenge in using this strategy is that one word can have many synonyms. Many meaning one word, for example, important just now, may have many other synonyms to it. For example, vital, crucial. Yeah, so you have another two synonyms that refers to the same meaning as important. Therefore, you as the reader must choose the most appropriate synonym that matches the context where the word is used. That means you have to decide. Okay, this type in the original text it says important. So which one do you want to use? Is it vital or crucial? So to decide, you have to go and look at the dictionary. In the dictionary, it will tell you which of the word will be most suitable to be exchanged with important in this context. Dalam situasi ini. Okay. Okay, so this is still in page 3. Example number 1. In the original text, it says, choosing the correct synonym is a challenging task. So when you paraphrase, alright, choosing, you change that into selecting. Correct becomes the accurate. So all of the words in bold here is changed using synonyms. Alright. Okay, synonym is a challenging task. So you simply change that into is a difficult job. Okay, challenging refers to difficult and task refers to job. Okay, if you look at page 4, in the paraphrase sentence above, the word choosing has been replaced with selecting, correct, and with accurate, challenging with difficult, and task with job. So the word synonym has not been replaced because that is the key term used in the synonym in the sentence. Alright. Okay, so you can look at this explanation in page 4 and then look at example number 2, still in page 4. Okay, in the original text it says choosing the correct synonym is a challenging task. Alright. But even though indicating the true synonym is a stimulating mission. So if you look at the examples, the paraphrase in example 2 as compared to the paraphrase in example number 1, the most accurate one should be in example number 1 because this matches the context in the original text. Whereas in example number 2, the example of paraphrase given does not match the context of the original text because if you say indicating the true synonym, there's no true synonym. So you cannot say true, but you must use accurate. Alright, same like this one. Stimulating mission. This is not that important as to be mentioned like a mission. It's not a mission. It's simply a task or a job. It's not a mission. So you cannot use mission. So what I mean to say here is that when you change your word, when you want to paraphrase, make sure the synonyms that you use are accurate, the most suitable to be used in the situation. You cannot choose whatever uh, synonyms that you want to use simply because you want to use it. It doesn't work that way, alright? Okay, in the second example above, the same words have been replaced with their synonyms also. However, the synonyms used are inaccurate. That means these are not the type of synonym that can be used in this situation or context. So you have to change it, right? Okay. So I want you to do practice 1. Okay, so just in your word file, okay, just give me the answer for practice number 1, right? Question number 1 until number 5. Okay. Practice number 2, we'll do this together in the next class. Okay, just practice number 1, include this in your word file. Okay, practice number 2, no need, we'll do this in our next class. Okay, let's talk about paraphrasing strategy number 2, changing the word form. Just now we want to do paraphrasing by using synonyms. So the second strategy to paraphrase is to change the word form. So the second strategy in paraphrasing is by replacing one word form with another. Okay. So, for example, one word may have different form, meaning different type of spelling. For example, we have paraphrase, paraphrasing with ing, paraphrased with ed. So we have three different forms for the same word. Okay. So if you look at example number 1, the original one says using different word form is another paraphrasing strategy. So this is the original text. In the paraphrase text, okay, using becomes use. So this is a change of word form. Of different word form is a technique to paraphrase. So paraphrasing becomes paraphrase. So in this example, okay, this is in page 6. In this example, the verb using has been replaced with the use. Okay, using becomes the use, which is a noun, and the noun paraphrasing. Okay, paraphrasing in the original text is a noun. It has been changed into a verb, which is another word form, which is to paraphrase. Okay, notice that when the two words have been replaced with the new word form, the structure needs to be changed as well. Yes, when you change the word form from using to use, then you have to change the structure of the sentence formation as well. Alright. Okay, look at example number 2. In the original text, it says there are two strategies that we can use for an effective paraphrase. Alright, so you can just simply change the original text into a paraphrase text. We can apply two techniques. Just now in the original text, you said two strategies. So in your paraphrase, you can change that into two techniques to paraphrase effectively. Okay, so the word effective is an adjective. In the original text, you can see the word in bold. Effective is a form of adjective, kata sifat. Has been replaced with effectively. So, it becomes effectively, which is an adverb. Alright, an adverb is the type of part of speech which helps to describe a verb. Okay, alright. Notice that the structure of the paraphrase has been changed as well to ensure grammatically correct sentences. So like I said, if you change the word form, then you need to change the word structure as well. Alright? Okay, so I want you to do practice number 3 as well. Okay, so please complete this in your word file. Okay, so that is all for today's lesson. So what I want you to do is tell me the summary of the important points that I have mentioned in today's lecture. And then I want you to complete practice 1 and practice 3 in your Word file. Alright, practice number 2, no need. We will discuss that in our next class. Alright, thank you people. Alright, so you need to submit this by 5 p.m. today. Alright.